usually use a mic, but this is a really sexy mic. So, this thing's dope. I don't like using a mic, but I kind of want to pretend to use this one. Cool. Yeah, well, I'm here to do some poetry stuff, and I'm just really thankful to be here. I haven't really been in Rhode Island for a while, so to be able to take part in this poetry community here in the state is really awesome. So I just want to thank Contessa and Mr. Pat Rossi for introducing me to the poetry fold here. So this is a poem I wrote for my mom. To my mother. You are the woman who in my eyes personifies spring. Because 1984 was the birth of a bird that you taught so hard to sing. But now I'm singing opera, and all my ballads reflect you. But I don't need an orchestra because those sounds get absorbed too soon. And my songs will obliterate theaters because love reverberates like sonic booms. My notes, they float and find the energy to travel this world around and sing to the planet's masses about the woman who gave me sound. The woman who gave me all 5 senses but always taught me about the 6th. That special bond between man and mother after conception always exists. But this 6 cannot be converted to words or sentences on this page because the chemistry of this love, no encyclopedia can explain. Doctors and scientists study this anomaly, the properties of which they marvel. It has no sounds, it has no mass, but appears both passionate yet harmful. This polarity of love can be attributed to the relationship between sun and earth. Both exist as separate orbs, but leave questions of which came first. Well, Mother Earth, she gave birth to what we now call the sun. He was a star whom she adored, but for him to grow, he needed love. So she fed his hunger, and now her sun has enriched her soul with illumination, and the beams of day enrich her life beyond her wildest imagination. Now, many people feel that Mother Earth is a peasant to the sun, because her orbit appears inferior and subservient to sun, but her orbit is not to suggest that she is bowing before her youth, but merely watching his growth and ensuring the love is spread with rays of truth. For the warmth and the light is not created from the sun in space alone, for the sun is merely reflecting the love that his mother has always shown, and the brightness echoes for an eternity. The entire universe will always know that for every twinkling star you see, a mother kindled that nurture glow. It was harvested and protected, and she loved and kept him safe for all the ages. Brought vision to eyes, sounds to ears, hopes for dreams, locked fear in cages. Food to hunger, hugs to trouble, kiss to bruises, blankets to chills. Censor to violence, laughter to silence, safety to eyelids, money to bills. My Mother Earth, my world, my first encounter with a female heroine. Always killed the horse in my closet so I could sleep soundly in my bed again. Speckled cuts and first-degree burns, the cost of a home-cooked meal. The hands of a girl become a woman as the calluses begin to peel. Once a boy, forever a man, I remember the loving gestures I took for granted. All the things that I refuse now, but when I was a boy they were demanded. And I know it's just a part of life, that we've traveled together and wandered. But these are the journeys that I'll embrace and repeat the day I become a father. Now I often admit that I often feel I don't emit the warmth of the shine that she implanted with loving hands. I feel I often emit a much dimmer light, but I notice her skin is always tan. Because on her earth, and she's my earth and I'm her sun. Men aren't from Mars, nor women from Venus. Mars is red, Venus is blue, and only the umbilical cord has come between us. And I hope that I provided the light that she's always wanted to see. Because I'm only half the man compared to the woman that I've always wanted to be. Now, Mom, you and I will both ignore horoscopes because our love surpasses the test of time. And we'll cheat on that test together and leave God's classroom with open minds. And I know we'll get an A together because we're experts in our life lessons. Although sometimes we don't know all the answers, so we just resort to guessing. But maybe we'll have to stay after class because we failed to pay attention. But Mom, I would spend 3 forevers with you writing on the blackboard in God's attention. And I know God will smile when he goes to correct both of our tests, revealing the words Matthew loves Barbara etched upon his desks. Thank you. Woo! Woo! If you want to check my stuff out, I have an artist page on Facebook that I just made, and I have like 100 friends, but they're all my friends and family. So if you want to check my stuff out, it'd be cool. It's Sion Poetry, one word, S-I-O-N.
I'll find it.
Cool. I also have a CD I'm taking donations for if anybody's interested.
Okay. I got my dibs.
Sweet. I'll trade you for some meatballs. Give me 5 of those and we got a CD.
Rain check?
Nice. Alright. This is a poem that I wrote for a girl that I was like really head over heels for. I was in the military for 8 years. And a lot of girls that I dated, they were, they were in the military. And they always had their wall up all the time. Because in the military, being the male-dominant industry that it is, they would kind of forego their femininity. I can never say that word. Femininity, right? Yeah. Okay. I always feel like there's another femininity in there.
You said it twice.
Femininity. Yeah, they'd always forego their femininity to basically appease their military life and their career. And I just found that to be unfortunate. And one time her and I got to a fight, and she wouldn't even let me see her cry. She locked herself in the bathroom. And yeah, and so it was just kind of sad. And so I wrote this for her when she ended up becoming a special agent now. And so I wrote this for her when she was going through some tough times. It's important to keep your chin up, but there are times to let it down. You're always so busy reaching for the moon that you forget about the ground. But wherever you tread, you leave an impact on any person that you're around. Like a meteor that leaves the cosmos to make a scratch of light beyond the clouds. Invincibility is not the word that should define your whole existence. For even Achilles has his flaws, but he was a work of fiction. And you will always embody strength, but you must embrace it within reason. Just the way the sun shares its bed with the summer, but must divide its time with all the seasons. Just breathe. Inhale all those thoughts and fears that have potential to overwhelm you. Let your blood briefly taste this negative wind that inversely acts to propel you. Let this sustainable system digest this smog until it forms a cooling mist. And your exhalation arouses icicles and leaves a morning dew upon your lips. Once upon a dream I was met by a million rays of light. We spoke of photosynthesis, and I thank them for all the warmth and brightness they provide. But they said that their lives are always so fast-paced, and they wish they could slow it down, because they travel far too quickly around this beautiful world, and they envy the speed of sound. You too must follow this ideal that our motivation is controlled from within. Just the way our muscles can gain strength and mass, but they never break through the skin, because we are all encapsulated within the confines that our reality has predetermined. And not always flexing your daily threshold doesn't make you any less of a woman. For if our teardrops were made of sugar, then our bodies would never need to release them. This chemical change would shake our entire world, and our lives could never get much sweeter. Because it's the rise and fall of this emotional grid that makes us who we are. Human beings, always reaching for the moon with a pocket full of stars.
Yes!
We love Sion.
This next one is a really long poem, so I'm going to do the abridged version. Yeah, I just hope I don't mess it up. So it was really long, and I took parts of it and rearranged it to make it a little bit more digestible. So. How can our children commit to the future when hopscotch is not a game? When adolescents hang themselves with jump ropes and monkey bars all form a cage, and jungle gyms are left deforested as their favorite slides begin to rust. And the children drink motor oil in cans labeled Orange Crush. They finger paint in each other's blood and have no clue they're trained to hate. Live within their plastic bubbles and never once played in the rain. Cowboys and Indians to cops and robbers, but now it's not a game. It's the innocent and the innocent robbing the innocents in Oshkosh Bagosh denim chains. See, these children eat toxic Crayola sticks and vomit rainbows miles wide. Bleed radical red as they're screaming green to their periwinkle skies. But mothers know that if their baby's going to change the world, they first must change their own. And fathers feel this change too, and soon this change will grow and follow the conviction that our children's lives deserve more fruit, because the seeds we plant today will bring their bright futures into view. Because the children seek solace in this planet that they have yet to meet, to write their names in beach sand grains before it turns concrete. Because as our world decomposes, our children have got to keep the pace. Given embryonic cell phones with a 40-year-old space, our children have to ripen at an exponential rate, because they have to hurry up to tackle all the problems we create. Because our children are losing their childhood. So I'm the reincarnation of their play. I'm what goes unsaid between lines unread, and I will bring them brighter days. With their giant ignorance in tiny hands, sometimes I loathe their mere existence. Or maybe I just envy their naivete, because when my future was bright, I blinked and missed it. But reincarnation gave me a chance to speak on their behalf and made me appreciate my childhood that these kids might never have. So I'll educate their elders to provide them shelter and give them a foundation on which to build. Because our fraud and waste and consumerist haste is leaving their land filled, because this land of ours is not the land of Oz. It's a setting for humanity's play. And our children will never reach the Emerald City if their yellow brick road is turning beige. And as Sally sells war shells by the seashore, Jack and Jill walked up the hill to a tainted water source. Mary had a little lamb that died of foot and mouth disease. And old MacDonald lost his farm when his interest rates increased. Goldilocks contracted smallpox as the three bears ravaged her bones. And there's no wheels on the bus, it's on cinder blocks covered in rust and mold. The three blind mice lost health coverage rights for not reporting their pre-existing condition. And little Miss Moffat fell off her toffin and had a heart attack in her kitchen. The ring of fire around the rosy left ashes within our lungs. And Mr. Seuss lost his doctorate while in the Who village selling drugs. And while it's raining, the old man is snoring. And while it's raining, the old man is snoring as it's pouring acid rain. And the pollution insurer, the ants are marching one by one into their grave. And the children try to row the boat, but there's a drought within the stream. And Yankee Doodle came to town and said, there is no time for peace. Put a twinkling star into his cap and told us what to believe. Because the children are losing their innocence, while our generation has kept it in hiding. So who cares what you do for a living? What can we do while they're dying? It's going to be my last one. I lived in Italy for 4 years, and I hosted a night called Nostalgia. And not many Italians came because I was mainly getting Americans in the area to come. But I wrote a poem in Italian as a welcome to my nostalgia event. It's going to be crazy poetry, and I'm going to do a bunch of intro stuff to make you interested and want to perform. It didn't really happen, but the result was this piece, which I'm kind of proud of, and I've been practicing it, so I can do it in Italian and translate as I go.
Bravo.
So hopefully, you guys will enjoy it.
Bravo, parlo italiano.
Sì, bravo. Okay. Benvenuti a Nostalgia. Welcome to Nostalgia. Siamo qui di parlare delle nostre vite. We are here to speak about our lives. Vedere attraverso la parete quando non ci sono le finestre. To see through the walls when there are no windows. Sentire la vita moderna dopo che ci spezza le gambe. To feel modern life after it breaks your legs. Poi camminiamo ancora, then we walk again. Poi corriamo ancora, then we run again. Con la forza dentro il nostro cuore. With the strength inside our hearts. Scriviamo perché ci piace. We write because we enjoy it. Sentire la guerra durante la pace. To feel war during peace. L'abbondanza durante la carestia. Abundance during famine. And con tanti problemi dell'economia, and with all the problems of the economy. Con ansia, with anxiety. Versiamo il vino nelle menti aperte. We pour wine inside of our open minds. Permettendo ai pensieri di affogare lentamente. To allow our thoughts to drown slowly. Trovare amore nel sangue quando mettiamo la pena sulla carta. We find our love in the blood when we put our pen to the page. I like that line.
I love that
Trovare amore nel sangue quando mettiamo la pena sulla carta. E le parole viaggiano nulla osta, and our words travel without restrictions. Ed è senza fili la pelle nostra, and our skin is wireless. Così comunichiamo fuori dai confini in silenzio, so we communicate outside of the confines of silence. Sotto gli occhi delle stelle, o forse Dio, underneath the eyes of the stars, or maybe God. Stiamo aspettando una risposta. We wait for a reply. Benvenuti a Nostalgia. Welcome to Nostalgia. Dove le nostre anime fanno una sosta. Where our souls have a layover.
Amen.